Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I am your hostess and your melanated queen, Lil Foxy, aka Seven Wonder. How are all of you doing today? Okay, now as I am making this broadcast, it is actually nighttime, but the time that you're going to see it is going to be in the daytime because this is a pre-recorded episode. Okay, don't y'all go anywhere. I got some additional details, okay, with this Kevin Samuels situation. All right. Today's topic is about fake pretenders with snake agendas. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And if you wanted to be so gracious, I have put my Cash App up there. It's Cash App, okay? The $ BGAB clothing. I also have PayPal. That's BGABclothing at gmail.com. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? If you just want to pass the collection plate. Also, shout out to all the CEO Club members, y'all. We bosses over here. All right. So before we get into it, well, we're gonna bow our heads. Please forgive me, it's late. We're gonna bow our heads and join hands and give thanks. We so graciously thank all of our spiritual warriors and the spiritual warfare that we are going through in this spiritual realm. We thank you for these physical bodies for which contains our spirits. We thank you for our inner beauty and our outer beauty. We thank you for all our gifts and talents, okay? We thank you for those that we are able to be a blessing to and those that are a blessing to us. We thank you for all the gifts that are harbored within us that have not yet been discovered, the sense of discernment, the reason and the logic, and that our minds are of sound judgment. Thank you so much that we're able to breathe in and out of our lungs. So many people didn't make it today, didn't make it through the night. Some people are still in the hospital beds, on breathing machines, on ventilators, on respirators, you all. Some people can't even get up and walk. Some people can't even talk. Thank you for the functioning of all our five senses. Thank you for those who have the heart chakra intact, the pineal is intact, the crown chakra is intact, the root chakra, the sacral chakra. We want to thank you for bringing us back into balance every time this cruel, dark world with all these cruel, dark, parasitic energies tries to take away our energy. All of these fake snake enemies, y'all. And I think that's something that we need to be very cognizant of. Can I get an amen? Mhm. That's right, y'all. All right. So, anyway, we're going to get into it, y'all. And we're not going to stay away from the knowledge because we will be further. Yeah, I'm laughing because same here. I am laughing because right now I'm getting a message from someone. Oh my God. Sorry about this, y'all. All right. Please excuse me. I know the little teeter totter and the ticking of the keys can be a little, what's the word, irritating. Da, da, da. All right. Let's get back to regular scheduled programming, y'all. You know what I haven't done in a little while? I have not fed the ducks. So let's get into it so we can have a little vibe going, you all. And every time I turn this music on, it just seems like it does something, but we're going to try it out anyway. All right, let's get into it. I hope y'all can hear that. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Turn it up for you. Hey, Yes, that's right. Thank you for rocking out with your girl. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this camera on in just a second so you can see me. Okay. But first, I want to get into a little thing here. Let me see if I can find it. Excuse me now. Excuse me. Now, I had it pulled up earlier. Let me see if I can find it again. You know how it is. The computer is full of a whole bunch of things that I have saved here. Shouts out to the melanated queens out there. I want to send a special shout out to all the supporters of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Stay winning. Okay. I must say that. I must
Came
say
in the
that.
mail today.
Uh oh. Look at what came in the mail today. Show us, King. What came in the mail today?
Hey, this is perfect. This is nice. I'm loving this. And the quality of the t-shirt is just amazing. I don't think I ever had a t-shirt that felt this good before. What is Egyptian cotton or something? Shit. But thank you though, I love it.
Shout out.
Ah, look at what
Shout out to our melanated kings. I must say that. All right. Let me go ahead and turn my camera on. See if I can. Y'all see me? Y'all see me here? Here I am. Here I am. Shout out to who sung that song? I can't think of his name. Adam Levine. Here I am with Rick Ross. That was my song. Y'all see my little microphone? Look, I got a makeshift boom stand. Okay. I got this from Best Buy, you all, back during the summertime, and I never did use it. But hopefully, it comes through okay for you. And I'll try to adjust this just a little bit. I don't want the sound to be compromised. So I got these earbuds in, but I'll take them out because, it is what it is. So shout out to me with my microphone, you all. I might move it back, but I think this just helps project my voice because sometimes when I'm speaking to you all, do you know what happens? I start feeling something around my throat chakra, around my throat, and it feels like I'm straining because my voice is so light. So I do need a microphone to project myself. But I might just move this back a bit, and then if I turn it up, I don't want to have a whole bunch of heavy interference, y'all. So let me just back this away. All right, turn it towards me, and hopefully you all can hear me. I have to scoot up a bit. Okay. All right. So, with that being said, we are going to remove our melanated king. Shout out to him. And then we're going to get into this whole Kevin Samuels debacle. But one more time for the melanated king here.
came in the mail today. Oh yeah, this is perfect. This is nice. I'm loving this. And the quality of the t-shirt is just amazing. I don't think I ever had a t-shirt that felt this good before. What is Egyptian cotton or something? Shit. But thank you though, I love it.
He is a mess, y'all. That is one of my customers, one of my clients. Shout out to him. He also sells natural herbs. I'm trying to think of his name on Instagram, you all. I know it's Juice King or something like that. I have to check back on it. So if you ever want any natural herbs, anything like that, he makes his own concoctions and he sends those out. He has his own business. So, we're over here supporting one another. All right. So, all right. With all of that being said, let's get into this whole situation that's going on with Kevin Samuels. As you all know, Kevin Samuels, let me remove this. Okay, that's gone. Kevin Samuels has still been in the headlines and things like that. Um, there is a situation that came about where basically he was caught on camera by someone in his neighborhood, and they were going to report him to the HOA. So when I saw it, I'm like, okay, whomever is showing this is trying to shame Kevin Samuels. But I can tell you that people will they will harass you with the HOA. Okay, the HOA can be a freaking pain. And this is why you get a lot of customers and clients that are looking for homes and houses, and they said they don't want an HOA. They don't want the fees. They don't want someone telling them what they can and can't do, and they're already paying a house payment or a house note or a mortgage payment. It just gets to be sometimes tedious. It gets to be real irritating, aggravating. You know, sometimes they don't want you to do the slightest thing. They're always monitoring you. What are you doing to your house? What are you doing to your yard? You can't plant those type of flowers. So they have a whole host of things that they make up in the bylaws, and you do need to review your manual or your booklet, because if you don't, they can try to put a fine on your home, a lien against your house. And technically, I've heard where the HOA can actually take your house if you don't comply. I mean, it just gets real nasty. You know, you can try to go to court, but basically the HOA is going to have their way. So this is something that Kevin Samuels had got caught up in, and I'm going to play this clip so you can see what I'm talking about, y'all. Okay, this is Kevin Samuels himself. I'm going to share my screen. So just a moment, y'all. I got so many tabs open, so please forgive me. Okay, here it is. It's right here.
So Kevin was out here renting rooms.
I've done nothing.
All right, so he's going at it, I guess, with the woman that he was either she's a neighbor or either he was renting the house from her. So she must be the owner, and she's threatening to report him to the HOA because his car was leaking oil onto the pavement. Okay, so he decided to put cardboard underneath his BMW so it would no longer leak oil. Anybody that has ever owned a BMW, they are infamous cars for having oil leaks. They always have some type of gasket issue. They're very um, real finicky vehicles. You know, they're just real fragile in vehicles. They make their cars of plastic parts that often crack. And for whatever reason, you have to keep going back and forth to the dealership to getting these things taken care of. So maybe that's something he was going through, because when he started driving and pulling off, he said that he had the maintenance records from BMW, you all. And you're going to hear that in just a moment.
So Kevin was out here renting rooms.
I've done nothing.
When the power bill spiked, you sent me communication after communication after communication.
I'll try to turn it up so you can hear it.
Not you responsible, the whole entire house responsible, Kevin. Since the stay-at-home notification of COVID, everyone's working from home. The power, the water, the gas is exponentially. No, it's not harassment. You know what, Kevin? Just recording Kevin Samuels moving cardboard again from out from under his car. This video will be submitted to the HOA for repercussions of the removal of his automobile from the premises. I got all the.
He said, not a spot at all. You got it? This is a shame that basically she's acting like the freaking HOA patrol, the maintenance patrol, the oil patrol person. Like, this is how they do. And you know what I mean when I say this. But listen to this.
Kevin was out here renting rooms.
I've done nothing.
He was still being respectful. He said, can I speak, please? So he didn't, you know, antagonize her. He didn't berate her. He didn't belittle her. He didn't disrespect her. He spoke to her in a very calm, professional manner, even though she was trying to antagonize him. And you can clearly see that her voice was elevating, it's shaking, because she's so upset. She's highly upset because of this oil spot that was allegedly on the side of the road, you know, when he was parked along the side of the curb, you all.
When the power bill spiked, you sent me communication after communication after communication, trying to make me responsible for it.
Not you responsible, the whole entire house responsible, Kevin. Since the stay-at-home notification of COVID, everyone's working from home. The power, the water, the gas is exponentially. No, it's not harassment. You know what, Kevin? Just recording Kevin Samuels moving cardboard again from out from under his car. This video will be submitted to the HOA for repercussions of the removal of his automobile from the premises. I got all the spots with all the oil all over, bud. I don't care. I don't care. The oil is right all over the place.
He said he has his full maintenance record submitted by BMW and started rolling on off. And she said, I don't care. The oil is all over the place. So she's highly upset about this oil, you all. Let's listen to this again. And actually, I think there was another video that showed it maybe a little bit bigger. Let me see if I can find the video that's bigger than this one. Let me see. Kevin Samuels. So he might have been renting a room because she said the whole household. That's what she said. The whole household. Yeah. She said the whole household. So let's see exactly what that meant when she said the whole household. Maybe there were other people staying with him. That's what it sounds like. But y'all, it's a hot mess. So let's go ahead and get into it.
So Kevin was out here renting rooms.
I've done nothing.
Now, this was during COVID. I guess COVID had just started, probably in 2020. I'm just assuming because that's when COVID hit. Everybody was wearing the masks. As you can tell, the mask mandate is not even really prevalent right now. So this is her recording him.
So Kevin was out here renting rooms.
I've done nothing.
Can I speak to? When the power bill spiked, you sent me communication after communication after communication, trying to make me responsible for it.
Not you responsible, the whole entire house responsible, Kevin. Since the stay-at-home notification of COVID, everyone's working from home. The power, the water, the gas is exponentially. No, it's not harassment. You know what, Kevin? Just recording Kevin Samuels moving cardboard again from out from under his car. This video will be submitted to the HOA for repercussions.
Now, this is a different day because look at his attire. He has on a suit. On the other video, he had on a sweater. So these are two different days, and they are having altercations with one another.
Repercussions of the removal of his automobile from the premises. I got all the spots with all the oil all over, bud. I don't care. I don't care. The oil is right all over the place.
So Kevin.
Well, I didn't see oil all over the place. Did you all see oil all over the place? I didn't. When he pulled off, I certainly did not see oil. Let's see. Do we see oil? No, because he used cardboards. So there's no oil spots on the street. But maybe she saw it because I didn't see it.
Rooms.
I've done nothing.
And then she's over talking him.
Can I speak to? When the power bill spiked, you sent me communication after communication after communication, trying to make me responsible for it.
Not you responsible, the whole entire house responsible, Kevin. Since the stay-at-home notification of COVID, everyone's working from home. The power, the water, the gas is exponentially. No, it's not harassment. You know what, Kevin?
She seems like she's had enough, and this is why she's doing what she's doing, you all, unfortunately. So I hope that y'all could see that. I didn't even share my screen. My apologies. I didn't share my screen so y'all could see it. Hold on. Here we go. I thought y'all could see it.
So Kevin was out here renting rooms.
I've done nothing.
Can I speak to? When the power bill spiked, you sent me communication after communication after communication, Trying to make you responsible for it.
Not you responsible, the whole entire house responsible, Kevin. Since the stay-at-home notification of COVID, everyone's working from home. The power, the water, the gas is exponentially. No, it's not harassment. You know what, Kevin? Just recording Kevin Samuels moving cardboard again from out from under his car. This video will be submitted to the HOA for repercussions of the removal of his automobile from the premises. I got all the spots with all the oil all over, bud. I don't care. I don't care. The oil is right all over the place.
So Kevin was out.
All right. I think we get the gist. Okay. And so that there you have it. They said Kevin was renting rooms and he had oil spots on the street. I think a lot of people have seen this already, but I just wanted to share it for those of you who hadn't seen it. You know, people like to antagonize people with the HOA. It's just some nonsense. Now, this is another video saying that Kevin Samuels G checks an unruly woman in the Lenox Mall. This was just uploaded 4 days ago. It says BMW with oil leak. Believe it or not, look it up, Google it. BMW is notorious for oil leaks, you all, just in case you didn't know. Yes, they are. As much as they cost, they are notorious for oil leaks. All right, so let's see what's going on here. We're about to play another video for you all. Okay, let me share my screen. I don't even know what to expect on this on this video, so I'm going to see it with the rest of you all. Let's see what this is looking like. All right, so hopefully you can see this.
A couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I like it. But I'm thinking about I'm thinking about going to LA.
All right.
Yeah, let's get it. Where we going? So let's see. Let's set out to Louis Vuitton and see what the people say.
So this is just B-roll right here.
So, yeah, man, the good thing about these masks is you can have B-roll and it doesn't look like I'm talking.
Right.
Hey, brother, what's up? Yeah, what's up? All right, good to see you, brother. Good to meet you. That's one of the good things about living here. Thanks for the game. All right. Let's talk to the people. Like Louis Vuitton right here. Now, I'm going to try not to get cussed out in here. Try not to holler at nobody with a man because I don't want to cause no relationship problems. Let's see. You gonna put him on camera or just me?
Both. Yeah. Both of y'all on camera.
If you don't want to be on camera, you don't have to. Did any of you guys see this whole thing with Quavo and Sweetie talking about if you don't buy me a Birkin bag and pay my bills, I'm kicking to the curb? What do you think about it? You gonna kick it to the curb if you can't? Now the Birkin bag is one thing. What about paying your bills?
I don't know, like I don't need you to pay my bills, but I mean if we're living together, you should pay some type of bills, but I don't know, I'm never gonna be dependent on a man enough to where I gotta leave him if you don't, I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's gonna be good with the mask. What do you think?
I mean, it is what it is, you know. The other content creators, they have to go through it. Some people will have a mask on, some not. We go outside, they won't have a mask on.
What I'm thinking is, I know it's gonna be the setup.
Yeah.
We just still walk through whatever kind of food, whatever always do. But tonight, when I'm out at shops,
Yeah.
few people wear their mask out there. Right.
If you want me to be able to, I can do that while I'm out.
Okay.
We'll be able to probably get better content.
Okay, that's cool.
Let's see. You know what? I got a friend of mine.
So I was actually thinking that we were gonna sit up in the at Neiman Marcus in the women's shoe section while they waited, and you know.
Yeah, they're a little funny about filming there.
Okay.
You have to get permission. They don't mind me doing 101s, but when it looks like a crew,
Yeah.
there's a process. And I don't want to run my welcome. Hey, Amir. Where is parking fine? He's traveling.
How are you?
Good. Well, that just messes up my whole thing.
What's wrong?
I was going to ask her something. But she's already traveling, so where we're at. Did y'all hear this thing about the rapper Sweetie talking about kick a man to the curb if he can't pay your bills or buy you a birthday bag? Yeah. For real?
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, she was with her boyfriend, Quavo, and basically it's like, ladies, he can't pay your bills, and he can't buy no birthday, keep that nigga, he for the streets. What are you songs about? Yeah. What do you think?
I'm with it.
Real? You know a Birkin bag is like a whole
I think
$40,000.
she means it's not about a burger bag. I think it means more than that.
Okay, what do you think she said?
I think it's more so like
The price you pay to keep it back.
basically, thank you.
So it's a bad bitch price.
Yes.
But what about it?
I think it'd be bad. That's not mediocre. You don't think it could be the average girl? No? Okay.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, every night on my YouTube show, I got women from high school graduates to PhD, and they all want guys to pay the bills. Not necessarily Birkin bags, but everybody wants bills to pay. They want a man to pay the bills.
Of course, yeah, because men are supposed to provide us, right?
Supposed to be.
They should be. Aren't they geared that way?
I am, but I would say this: what is he getting in return for that? What's he getting in return for that?
A beautiful woman.
Okay.
Femininity. Hopefully she cooks, she cleans, and stuff like that. I'm old school.
There you go.
Yeah, so.
I think that's the disconnect. Not enough old school women for those traditional kind of men. Because I think you should have to be able to pay. I think beauty costs and you should be able to pay the bills. But the Birkin bag, come on.
Yeah.
It's hard to get them even if you got the money. Thank y'all.
This is your one.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm gonna help pull something in too. And what we're gonna do is for
most women today.
I'm for
Exactly. And then you wonder why it doesn't work.
I know why.
Right. So this is why things are being looked at nowadays, because women are finally starting to realize the issues in relationships are off. Men don't typically leave. You guys do. And your happiness is fleeting. Fleeting. Happy this, happy that. Y'all aren't happy in general.
But he's against that. My daughter's the same way.
Let me tell you.
Tell me the world the women have built.
Let me tell you.
Tell me the car that they're driving.
Two people these days, but women these brothers all right.
Wait, the problem is there's such a lack of respect for women for men.
See, I mentioned respect too.
No, but it goes both ways. But they're not. First off, you modern women don't respect anything that men have built. You act like I don't need a man when everything around you has been built by men. You need us. We don't need you. If you have to survive on what you strong, independent women need, you can't even build a house. You can't build a shelter. There's a show called Bear Grylls, The Island, season 2. It's a 10 men put on a deserted island. At the end of 6 weeks, men had a house, a shelter, whatever. Women would have died 3 days into the show because your nature is just different than ours.
When you're you go get the fire, we'll start the fire.
We built the world up the world so much to where you just look at us and honestly say, I don't need you. But if you had to take, okay, you don't need me. Okay, hold on, listen what I think. You don't need me. You live in a house, an apartment, condo. Something happens. What do? You call 911. What? Who shows up? A man.
That's not fair.
No, it's
That's
fair.
true.
Because
That's true.
you know, that's the thing. You do need us, and y'all need to start acting like you
When the
do.
woman say, I don't need you, let me see.
And if we could actually do like our dream, and if we could do like our dream of Jenny and snap it all away, and give you everything that women have made, you'd be naked and hungry. You would die without us. You don't even have a hamstring to manipulate this world. So, watch my show. I'm right.
You always right,
I'm right. Because I'm right. And if your daughters watch my show, they'll get arrested. Listen to what I said today. No, not the Discovery ones. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Hey, quick question. We had a YouTube channel called, he has this channel called Kevin Samuels, and I do Urban Central at AUC. You might have heard of it because you got the mask on. Yeah. So we got a question for you, if you don't mind us asking. You know Saweetie, right? Saweetie and Quavo? Okay. So he's going to ask the question real quick.
That's your man?
You mind if y'all answer the question for us?
All right. So,
All right, hold on. Let's get this right.
you get your glam on.
Wait, hold on. Let me restart it.
Ready?
All right, ready.
So, ladies, you know the rapper Quavo and his girlfriend should have.
Yeah.
She made a viral video that said, the man can't pay your bills, the man can't buy you no Birkin, kick that ninja to the street. What do you think about it? You laugh. Why you laugh?
I agree because I can do that for myself. So it's like looking to like a man to do that. It's like you shouldn't want to do that because growing up, that's like what my father did. So I look at stuff like that from a man.
What about you?
I personally feel like if I can do it for myself, I need someone who can reflect what I do for myself. Why would I get someone who doesn't?
So we talking about buying the Birkin bag, we talking about paying the bill.
Pay the bills.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You know how much a Birkin bag costs?
Well, if they have Birkin bag money, why not spend it?
Should he do that before you his wife?
If they're committed enough, that's what he wants to do, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know because I'm not buying nothing that expensive for nobody that's not my husband.
40,000 is what they cost if you can get one.
If he wants to do it, why not? I wouldn't require or beg for it, but if you want to spend it, why not?
So, have you ever dated a man who couldn't pay all your bills?
I mean, I can pay my own bills.
Have you ever dated a guy who can't pay your bills?
Yeah.
See, that's the message you send. You say that a man has to do all this, but in the past, if he can do, I'll date him. So you require one group of men to buy bills, pay bills, and buy bags. But this dude,
No, it's like they get kicked to the side because they can't do that. You don't know that. It's this image they're portraying. So.
okay, so they duped you. So as soon as you found out he couldn't pay bills, all right.
I feel like different requirements and for different ranges of people. If you have the Birkin money, you can buy the Birkin. If you have, let's say a Gucci money,
Right.
you should buy the Gucci. You don't expect different things from different people.
So do you date men who are 10, 15, 20 years older than you?
Do I? Oh, I don't know.
You're in your 20s. How's a man supposed to afford that legally?
The young people, they got the money.
Legally.
They have the money.
40 Birkin bag money legally. See? So if you're a 26-year-old dude, you're basically saying, you can't buy me a $40,000. That's a car. A nice car. So you want a young, rich dude who's making the money legally. They're like 4 of those dudes in Atlanta. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 of them are gay.
Well, they're the ones who said legally.
Well, so you want, okay, so and this is an honest conversation. It doesn't matter to you where his money comes from, as long as he got it.
I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that, but if someone is getting their money while they're getting their money, that is not up to them.
That's honest. That's honest. Thank you. Appreciate it. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You ready?
All right.
All right. So, you know the rapper Quavo from Migos. He has a girlfriend called Shlee. She went viral talking about if a man can't pay your bills, he can't buy you no Birkin bag, kick that ninja to the streets. What do you think about that?
I think buying a Birkin bag is a nice gesture.
Yeah. But would you kick him to the street if he can't buy you one?
No, because I'm a regular person. So most regular men
What about
have
you?
regular jobs.
Thank you.
And they can't buy you a Birkin bag with a regular thing. My sentiment is the same. I mean, I can't buy myself a Birkin bag. So
What about if he can't pay your bills?
then I don't need to be talking to him. You gotta contribute something.
Okay. So I think that's fair. If you can't pay your bills, does he pay all your bills? Or just help you out? Or
They said men leave, so he need to leave with this check.
are you following as long as he got the paper?
I'll follow up if he falls short.
Are you following him though? If he's paying the bills, are you following
If he
him?
leaves correctly, then I will follow.
See that correctly? What? Correctly? How do you know what's correct? We're supposed to
You feel it in your soul. God knows. It's an intuition. We all have it.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's funny.
All right.
Ready?
Here we go.
All right. So you know the artist Quavo and his girlfriend Shlee. There's a viral video of her talking about the man can't pay your bills, the man can't buy you no Birkin. Kick that ninja to the streets. What do you think about it?
Honestly, not everybody can afford a Birkin, so it don't really listen to what you gotta say. But she said her standards high because she's like that. So I mean, with her, it's acceptable. So other people, I can see why they talking about her bad and stuff. Talking about Birkin and Birkin that. We can't afford that.
Right.
Some people don't even be like.
So would you date a guy who? Okay, most guys can't afford a Birkin. But would you date a guy who cannot pay your bills?
You can't be broke messing with me because I'm gonna have more money than you. That's not good. So.
Okay. But you got money. So you got anything to say about it? You got an opinion on it?
I don't even like to bag myself personally. As a matter of fact, to me, the real item that you should be gifting your lady is property. You can do a lot more with that money with just buying that person.
You're trying to make sense over here.
Nah, I'm serious.
There you go.
I'm serious. Shit, but that's hilarious. Assets, property, that's the real wealth. That's your real gift right there. You should be. All females should be on the same page. LLC, businesses, set up all that.
So no Birkin stuff
No
is cool.
Birkin, buy me a property.
But he needs to be able to be working and making
Something. You can't just be doing nothing.
You can't be no homosexual. You can't be a man.
Right. It don't matter you making more than me, I'm making more than you. You just can't be lazy. You gotta be productive. You gotta be consistent. You know what I'm saying? So,
Appreciate it, lady.
definitely.
You got them to tag them on like that.
All right, y'all. So that is the end of that. Hopefully you have enjoyed that. That was very interesting to watch.
I'm Julius, and this is Quitting. I feel a lot.
My apologies. All right, let's get up out of there. Y'all, excuse me for that. Okay, let's get up out of there. So with all that being said, I think Kevin Samuels basically made a pretty good point that, these rap lyrics, these music videos are setting a false narrative for people out here. When it really comes to financial wealth, everyone knows that the melanated male is at the bottom of the totem pole because he's financially, he's systematically discriminated against. So even if he were to go out here and have a family at a young age, they're already below poverty level. They are living paycheck to paycheck most of the time. And this has been orchestrated, you all. This has been going on for a very long time, for decades. It's not like it was many years ago when people used to have Black Wall Street, melanated people had their own businesses. Now we're starting to see the younger generation get back into that. But unfortunately, we took a hit when we integrated. Okay, we were doing better when we were segregated. But who pushed for that narrative? MLK. Okay, think about where He came from the CIA. People don't want to believe that. But if you study something called COINTELPRO, Operation Chaos, which I'm going to get into on this channel, but Behold a Pale Horse, William Cooper talks about a lot of this stuff. All right. So it's about, setting the poverty gap and the financial gap so that melanated people are way down here. It's a socioeconomic status, you all. If you take sociology, they talk about all of this stuff, how less than 1% of the world is owned by, these people that control everything. And it's more of us than it is of them. So I don't even understand how we fall prey and victim to this, but yet and still we're in the same condition because we don't like to work together as melanated people. So, with all that being said, I found some interesting documents, and I wanted to get into this nurse for what's her name, Hortensia Alcantara. Okay, so basically, if you go to her page, it says that she's a BSNRN nurse, a traveling nurse, you all. Okay, and we've already seen her picture, but I'll pull it up here again. Okay. Oh, you all, I'm getting hungry again. Yes, I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store too. All right, so all right, let's see if we can go to her page real quick, and I'll show you for those of you who have not seen her, but many of you have already seen her. So this is what her Instagram page looks like. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, sharing. All right, now she does not have any photos, okay? But she does have on here RN32 No Kids ATL. Leave me and my family alone, please. Okay, the account is private. You have to follow her to see her pictures. She has around 21,000 followers. She's following 1,500 people. Okay, with that being said, I took the liberty of looking up a BSN RN. Excuse me, a Bachelor of Science. That's what BS stands for, just like a Bachelor of Arts. Okay. You can have a BA. Now the N is for nurse, Bachelor of Science for the nurse. And if you don't know, now you will know because I'm going to actually pull this up and show you. Okay. BSN RN. The RN, this means that she's a registered nurse. Okay. So I'm going to educate people that are not familiar with these terms because this is going to be crucial in just a moment with the point that I'm making. All right. That's why her story didn't make sense. It doesn't make logical sense. A BSN, which stands for Bachelor of Science in Nursing, is an undergraduate level degree for registered nurses that introduces nurses to topics such as patient care, technology, research, health promotion, safety, and quality within the healthcare system. Now, with that being said, she's also a traveling nurse, and a lot of people didn't believe that she really was a nurse, but I saw that they pulled her information and she does come up in the system as an actual nurse. She's been a nurse for approximately 2 years. What are the qualifications on being a traveling nurse? What are the qualifications on being a traveling nurse? Okay. This is going to tell you that you have to basically, you have to be registered, I think, or licensed for at least 2 years. To become a traveling nurse, either an associate's degree in nursing or a Bachelor of Science. So to obtain an associate's degree, normally that takes about 2 years. A bachelor's degree normally takes about 4 years. This is if you're going full time. If you've ever been to get your associate's degree, sometimes it can take longer, especially if you're working. It can take a very long time. A bachelor's degree, because you already have those credits, can take a little bit less time because you don't have to get started off with those prerequisites. Okay. So with that being said, a traveling nurse makes pretty good money, you all. They can make anywhere from around, I want to say like 60,000 and up. What is a nurse trained in? So does a traveling nurse get trained in CPR? And you will see any type of nurse has to be trained in CPR. Okay. Basic life support is the generic term for any form of CPR and is required for all registered nurses. So she had to have been trained in basic life support, which is CPR. So that's why when we go back to that 911 call, if you examine the other two videos that I posted, the full length 911 call is 11 minutes and 27 seconds. It sounds like it got cut off. She did not behave as a Bachelor of Science nurse, that's a registered nurse that was trained in basic life support for CPR. She didn't act as such. So I don't understand why she act like she didn't know what to do when this is her job. This is what she's trained to do. This should come second nature. If you go to work every day and you work the cash register and a customer comes in and says, "Oh, I want a refund," you might not know how to do it at first, but once you get trained on it, you know how to perform the refund. If someone wants to get checked out, you know how to check them out. If someone says, "I want to do an even exchange," then if you have the proper training, you do the even exchange. This is common sense with any job. If you have basic life support training, you should know what to do. So I don't understand why she act like she didn't know what to do when she made that alleged 911 call, you all. It sounded very staged to me. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second. All right. Now, moving on. I find it very interesting that Kevin Samuels talked about, women and what type of woman you should have and what you should expect of a man. And, likely so because he is of age. Similar to Steve Harvey, they are older, seasoned, more tenured males. Other males know how other males think. And when women try to do the thinking for a male, that's when you make a mistake because you think that a male is going to think like you and they do not. So what I would say is Kevin Samuels had I think they reported two marriages, one of which produced a child. Okay. And I'm not going to state her name on here, but I will tell you that he has a daughter. She's 21 years old and they look exactly alike. They're the same complexion. She has the same eyes as Kevin Samuel. His eyes slant downward. Her eyes look just like his. She wears glasses just like him, kind of tall, slender built, just like him. They look very much identical. She does have, social media, and I'm not going to post it up here, but she does have several social media pages. She just recently posted even after his death, and she seems to be doing fine. Someone did make a comment that they made the allegation that they know that he's her father. They didn't come out and say his name, but she just laughed. She automatically knew what they were talking about, and she said that man is not nor was not my father. So I just want to say that whatever was going on with her emotionally and mentally for her to deny her own father, there has to be some very deep embedded wounds. Okay. Very deep wounds there. And I'm sure that, Kevin Samuels would have wanted to protect her. And I'm not going to put her information up here. I know her date of birth, how old she is, her social medias that she has. But she seems to be very peaceful. So she doesn't seem to be affected by his alleged death at all. From what I saw, she seems to be doing just fine. She does live, somewhere. I think she has her own apartment. And I'm not going to even name the state where she resides. Now, his ex-wife, the one that he had the child with, she's a very nice looking woman, very educated woman. She's been to college. So it seems like she's made a very nice career for herself over the course of knowing Kevin. And I believe they went to the same high school. And I really don't want to post her information either for respect for their privacy. But I will get into some other information. And this is just going to open up some light about Kevin Samuels, okay, and his background. This is why he was able to give the information that he gave, okay. This is exactly why he was able to give the information that he gave, because he has been through this, you all. His last video, he was talking to this lady about child support, and her and her husband had split up and got a divorce. And he told the woman, have you thought about taking him off child support? And the woman got quiet. And he was like, why don't you take him off child support? Because the woman said he won't see his kids, he won't see his children. And she said, well, he said, well, how do you know that he won't see his children? Have you tried taking him off? And she said, no, I just know that he won't. So because the parents were going back and forth, the child suffered. That's what Kevin Samuels was getting at. How would he know this? Because he's been through this, you all. And I'm going to make my point right here. So I have some documents that I'm going to share, but I'm going to try to make sure that I don't share any like personal information on here. So I'm trying to be very strategic and careful about how I pull this up, because I want to give these people their privacy, you all. Okay. So he did get a divorce in 2005. His divorce was issued in March of 2005, you all. Okay, March the 4th. All right, let's see here. What can I bring up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got like 5 documents. And it's probably easier if I just go straight to the source and pull it up. So looking at this information, he actually had his wife to take a paternity test, or somebody filed for paternity. I can tell you that. Date filed, this was 2001, you all. Okay. Now let me make sure. Yeah, I don't want to show her name, but I'll show the screen as long as it doesn't show her name. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to share the screen. Okay, here it is. And as you can see right here, it says deposed, paternity established decree, 3/17/2003. Defendant was Kevin Roshan Samuels. Okay. Let me stop sharing the screen because I don't want to accidentally share the wife's information, because I'm pretty sure she's been through a lot with him. She's probably been through enough with him. So I'm going to stop right there and then we'll move on. Okay, so that was done. They were in and out of court for a number of years, you all. It looked like it started in 2001 and it continued, okay, until like 2007. All right, then let's see what else happened here. They had a marriage license application that was filed. This was 2002. It says certificate of premarital examination, a $25 fee was paid for that, for him and his wife. So I would have been offended, you all, if someone took me to court to have a paternity test done. Like, why would this have been done? Did she try to prove to him that this was his child, or he was denying his child? That's what it looks like, because this was done. Yeah, this was done October 24th. Yeah, I don't know what they had going on. Interesting. Okay. Now let's move along. This seems to have been a tumultuous situation that they were going through. Let me go down because I don't want to share her information, but I'm going to share my screen so you can see it. Okay. So they did get a divorce, like I said, in 2005. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Let's open this. We're going to open it up. All right. Oh man, this shows her name. Hold on 1 second, y'all. It's 2007. Let's see. 2004. Okay. Kevin Samuels was something else, y'all. I can tell you that. Okay. What I will do is, let me pull it up this way, but I'll try to do it where her name doesn't show. How about that? I'm sure she's been through enough. She filed, okay, so his wife was the petitioner and Kevin Samuels was the respondent, okay? So it looks like she was the one that filed for divorce. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And this is order for issuance of bench warrant, you all. That's what it says. So I'll share my screen at this point because I don't see her name listed on here at this point. And if I could have, maybe I could have had it like redacted some type of way. But here we go. Okay, and as you can see, it says Kevin Rashawn Samuels, which is him. It says order for issuance of bench warrant. It says now on the 18th of August 2004, this matter coming on regularly before this court for arraignment of Kevin Rashawn Samuels, who has been duly served with an application for indirect civil contempt of court on a citation herein before properly issued against and served upon the above named individual with indirect contempt of court for willful failure to comply with an order of this court. Herein before made and entered, and further ordering that said above named and charged individual appear in this court on this day at this hour to answer said charge of indirect contempt. Further, the above named and charged individual, although 3 times called in open court, appeared not but wholly made default and by reason thereof. It is hereby ordered that a bench warrant issued for the arrest. Okay, this is an arrest for Kevin Rashawn Samuels, and that said individual be brought immediately before this court to answer the charge of indirect civil contempt, you all. That's what it says. So he's been through it. He's been through it, especially he was going through it in 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. Further, the above named and charged individual, although, okay, I read that. Okay. So it is further ordered that an appearance bond be set in the amount of $3,922.42, and said named and charged individual be remanded to the custody of the sheriff of Oklahoma County, state of Oklahoma, for confinement in the county jail of Oklahoma County until good and sufficient bond of the nature described above is properly posted. It is further order of this court that the above named and charged individual may purge himself of contempt at any time during this proceeding or pendency of the action by paying the $3,922.42 by cashier's check, money order, or cash to Patricia Presley Court Clerk in Oklahoma County Courthouse. Okay, and full compliance shall be released from this order of confinement. This was on August 20th, 2004, you all. So with that being said, this is the question that I pose to people. Is it worth it to people to have to go through the court system when they have these relationships and marriage? Because it is my opinion that when the courts get involved, you're putting the government in your business. When the courts get involved, they are dictating what you do with your children. Your children belong to the state. Okay, you're a ward of the state. When you sign these birth certificates, when you sign these, get these social security numbers sent over, to you. Parents don't even understand what they're doing when they sign the social security number for their child to have one. This lets the state, it lets the government, the United States of America, feel like they can stake a claim over you. And same thing in marriage, with these marriage licenses, and you get in a court and the judge is involved in your personal affairs because grown adults can't come to a cohesive understanding. And I feel that individuals should be able to make up their own contractual agreements, whether it's with children, having baby contracts, having relationship contracts, and go get it notarized, have a verbal agreement. When people have wills, sometimes they actually put it on video. They record what their final wishes are for their family members to make it easier. And maybe you can go put this into a safe deposit box at the bank. You can make up what you want for yourself. You don't need the government to regulate your state affairs, your own personal affairs. That's how I feel personally. I know a lot of females are going to say, oh, but he's not going to pay child support. I don't even know, y'all. Hopefully you will deal with an individual that is responsible enough that you don't have to deal with this. All right, let's move along, you all. After that took place, what else happened next? There was an order for issuance of the bench warrant. Let me see if that's the one that I just read. Okay, this was. Oh, yeah, I did read that one already. Okay, so let's move along. What happened after that? And you all, every time they appeared in court, people have to pay fees. There was a $50 fee paid. I think got all types of fees associated with this stuff too. And you can clearly look this up. The courts are making all types of money off of people. It's ridiculous. All right, the decree of dissolution of marriage. Okay, so this took place here. And this was March 7th, 2005. Let me see if I find that in here. Close that out. So let me just pull it up on the screen. Okay. So March 7th, 2005, this is what took place with Kevin Samuels, you all. So he had a lot of knowledge about some of the things he was talking about because he had been through it. This is why he gave this information. Okay. Okay. So I don't want to show the names. So let me just make sure there are no names in here because it talks about the child and I don't want to put her name out here. And I mean, just out of respect and courtesy for her. All right, let's see. All right, okay, so this is the divorce decree. Okay, and dissolution of marriage. On March 4th, 2005, this matter regularly came on for hearing pursuant to the motion for default judgment filed by petitioner. Hearing on February 8th, 2005, the court found that respondent has failed to respond nor answer as required by the court, and respondent is in default. The court found that this matter was properly presented for hearing by petitioner at this time, whereupon the court proceeded to review the court file and appearance, docket, and receive the evidence and the argument of counsel. On March 4th, 2005, being fully advised in the premises, the court found, ordered, adjudged, and decreed as follows. Petitioner and respondent were lawfully married on September 15th, 2002 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and have ever... Oh, sorry, you all. I got to take this down. I'll read it to you. Okay, it says on March 4th, being fully advised in the premises, the court found, ordered, adjudged, and decreed as follows. Petitioner and respondent were lawfully married on September 15th, 2002 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and have ever since been husband and wife. The parties are the parents of the following minor child, born, and I'm not going to state her date of birth, in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The parties have no other minor children, and the petitioner is not pregnant. Both parties were bona fide residents of this state for more than 6 consecutive months prior to the filing of this action. The court has subject matter jurisdiction concerning this action, and venue is proper in this county. Okay. All right. Now I'll share my screen because I've skipped over the part where it names the child. My apologies, you all. Okay. I'm going to share this. All right, here we go. All right, now it says, okay, so basically they're saying what has to happen here. Under all applicable state and federal, including uniform child custody, and it just says that they should exercise jurisdiction to enter initial child custody, visitation, and support decrees under said state and federal law and enter orders concerning the same. This is stressful to deal with, you all, going back and forth to court, having somebody tell you what you can do with your own child that carries your DNA, something that came from you. Like, I don't feel that an outside entity should have a right to dictate what you do with something that is so precious to you. But this is regular to people. I mean, they feel that this is necessary in some situations. At the commencement of this action, Oklahoma was the home state of the said minor child, as that term is defined by said statuses, and it has since remained and is now her home state. It is in the best interest of the minor child that this state assume jurisdiction, because the child and her parents, the parties hereto, have significant connections with this state, and there is available in this state substantial evidence concerning the child's present and future care, protection, training, and personal relationships, and the child is physically present in this state. So it looks like they're trying to dictate that both parents remain in the state. That's what it sounds like to me. Other than the parties hereto, no other person has or claims to have custody or visitation rights concerning the minor child. No other outside person really can claim or state claim to the child. Other than this action, no prior actions have been filed in this or in any other state concerning the custody, visitation, or support of the minor child, and no party hereto has participated in any such litigation as a party witness or any other capacity. The child is not. Now, this is the part that I don't agree with you all. They said the child is not Native American ancestry, and neither Oklahoma's Indian Child Welfare Act, nor the federal Indian Child Welfare Act apply to this proceeding. I wholeheartedly disagree. You know, melanated people are Native Americans. We are indigenous to this land. We stake claim to this territory. So then they want to go on and say the court has jurisdiction. The court should not have jurisdiction over somebody that is native to this land. How do you, as a colonizer, as an outside party, come to someone else's land and territory and tell them what to do with their own children? And then on top of that, you're going to tell them that your child is not native to this land. Your child is native to this land. They stake rights and territory to this. They stake rights and claim to this territory. So that's the part I don't agree with. And I probably would have questioned that part. The court has jurisdiction over all necessary parties concerning the issues of child custody, support, and visitation. This is where it all goes left, you all, because people are not recognizing who they really are. When we don't stake claim to our territory, when we tell people we're not Native American, we're not indigenous people of this land. Yes, we are. How can you come over here and basically take over the land and then sell it back to us, overcharge us, and charge us taxes for something that you stole from us? And then you want to steal our children, because if you don't feel that we're doing something proper with our children, you come in and take them. And now you're dictating what they can do with their own child. So let's continue. The court should exercise its jurisdiction to enter into initial child custody, visitation, and support degrees concerning the minor child. The parties' marriage should be dissolved, and a divorce should be awarded to both parties by reason of the incompatibility of each party to the other. She, requesting the same, petitioner, should be restored to her former last name. Okay. Custody of the said minor child should be awarded to the petitioner, and respondent should be awarded visitation with her in accordance with the court's modified visitation schedule attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference. Okay. Now they're telling both parties that each party should be entitled to telephone the child at all reasonable times, and the child should be entitled to telephone her parents at any time she wishes. Each party should be entitled to participate in all birthday, school, extracurricular activities of the child, and each party should keep the other informed of all such events on a regular basis. Each party should be equally entitled to access and have all medical, hospital, school, and all other records of the child, and neither party should inhibit or interfere with such access. And in the event that any doctor, hospital, teacher, or other person does not freely grant such access, each party should take such action as is necessary to cause such access to occur. Each party should keep the other informed of all changes in his or her residence and work addresses and telephone numbers. Each party should affirm the other to the child, and neither party should demean the other to the child. Don't talk about the other parent to the child, is what they're saying, in a negative light, within her presence or hearing. So she shouldn't have to hear that. Neither party should permit a person with whom he or she may be romantically involved, but to whom he or she is not married, okay, to spend the night in his or her dwelling or other sleeping location while the child is present. I like that part right there. So neither one of them, if they're not married, can have a man or a woman around the child to be sleeping in the residence with the child. I wholeheartedly agree with that. This is, to me, that's a good thing. The parties' child support computation form has been completed, has been approved by the court, is on file herein, and all of the information, findings, and orders contained in said child support computation form are hereby adopted and incorporated herein by reference, as is more specifically set forth therein for purposes of Oklahoma's child support guidelines. Respondents' monthly gross income should be set at $892.67, which is 26.7 of combined parental income. And petitioners' monthly gross income should be set at $2,448, which is 73.3% of combined parental income. Work-related daycare expenses for the minor child presently exists and is paid by the petitioner in the amount set forth in said child support computation form. Health insurance for the minor child is maintained by petitioner at the cost set forth in said child support computation form. So based on this, they are saying that one party, it says responded, okay, their gross income, gross meaning after taxes. No, I'm sorry, gross meaning prior to taxes. That's gross. Net is after they take out the taxes. It should be set at $892.67. So I don't know if this person was hiding assets from the court. You know how men like to do when they're about to get put on child support, when they're about to get a divorce, they try to hide assets, they try to hide income, they make it seem like they're not making that much because they want to lessen that child support. And if you go back and look at Kevin Samuel's last video that he posted, the woman said that the man was hiding assets, or either that he was trying to take lesser paying jobs so he didn't have to pay that much in child support, that he was quitting his job so he didn't have to pay that much in child support. That's what she was saying. Kevin Samuels was not really going for it. Now, and then it says 26.7% of combined parental income. And then a petitioner's monthly gross income should be set at $2,448, which is 73.3% of combined parental income. Then they talk about the work-related daycare expenses for the minor child presently exists and is paid by the petitioner in the amount set forth in the child support computation form. Health insurance for the minor child is maintained by the petitioner at the cost set forth in child support computation form. The respondent should pay the petitioner child support in accordance with Oklahoma's child support guidelines, which is to say the respondent should pay the petitioner base child support of $299.57 per month. I'm about to do some calculations. Okay. I'm about to do it. I could do it on the screen. Let me pull out my calculator. 299.57 times. Okay. So times 4. Okay. So they did calculations to come up with that. Oh, so basically he's paying $300 per month, $299.57 on the first day of each month beginning April 1st, 2005 until the minor child is 18 years of age, or through such portion of her 18th birth year that the child be enrolled in and attending high school, whichever is later, or until the further order of the court, the respondent is currently delinquent. So he was already delinquent on child support in the amount of $2,706.13, and further delinquent child support shall be determined by this court at the proper time. So he was already behind when this went into action. Each parent should pay his or her proportionate share of work-related child care expense, which is to say respondent's share is 26.7 and the petitioner's share is 73.3 of the expense, because it looks like the petitioner made more money. At present, in addition to said base monthly child support, the respondent should pay the petitioner 26.7 of the current work-related child care expense set forth in said child support computation. Okay? So they go on talking about that. until such time as petitioner give respondent documentation from child support care provider that the cost of such expense has changed, at which time respondent should pay the petitioner 26.7 of such new monthly costs. Okay. Is continuing to talk about what they should do with child care and all this type of these expenses. Health insurance, it talks about that. And it says that the petitioner has to provide the respondent with all insurance cards, okay? Documents needed concerned for insurance, all this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Medical care, orthodontic care, dental, all that, optometry care, psychological care, educational expenses, mental health. All of this is going on with the child, okay? Medical emergencies, the party should obtain health care services for the child. Pretty common sense stuff, okay? Let's continue to go on here. This is a 10-page document, you all, and I'm not going to read this entire thing. The date, and federal income tax, immediate order, petition should be ordered to pay, on and on and on. All right, now this part talks about telephone calls and birthdays. Okay, so we kind of read that already. It looks like it's repeating again for whatever reason. All right, so we read pretty much all of that. Then it talks about all non-prescribed healthcare expenses, such as over-the-counter medication and first aid care in the home, shall be paid by the parent providing the same. All other reasonable and necessary medical. All right, so common sense is to take care of your child, basically. Taxes, let me see. All right, now right here is a breakdown, okay? Respondent is ordered to pay and to indemnify and hold petitioner harmless from all claim, loss, demand, and liability from the following marital debts of the respondent. Okay, $972 temporary debts from November 1st, 2003 through January 31st, 2004. She had an attorney, you all. She had a divorce attorney. $750 cell phone bill, and it has a cell phone number here. $403 for relocation, moving expenses, and any other debt in his name, you all. No. He went out with debt out of this marriage. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. As to each and all of the foregoing awards and orders pertaining to real and or personal property, each party is ordered on this date to execute and deliver to the other all such goods, sufficient and acknowledged documents of title, transfer, and delivery as are necessary to accomplish and effectuate conveyance, transfer of title, and delivery of each and all of the foregoing awards and orders or real and or personal property to each respective party. In the event that neither party fails to do so on this date, the decree of divorce and dissolution of marriage shall fully operate as such execution, conveyance, transfer of titles, delivery as to each and all of the foregoing orders and awards. So basically, they're just saying give each other back each other's property. Attorney fees, litigation, expenses, and costs are to be paid by the respondent. So the respondent had to pay attorney fees, litigation expenses, and costs. Signed on March 4th, 2005, y'all. She went out with a bang. Y'all. So, let me stop sharing the screen. My apologies. Let me stop sharing the screen. Because she signed her signature. I don't want to show that. All right. Okay. Now this right here is an order entering modified visitation schedules. Okay. Let me scroll up so it does not show her name. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen again. Y'all, we're getting into it. This is some interesting information. So all of you out there that's thinking about getting divorced, this is what you have to go through. Okay. Here's the regular visitation. The non-custodial parent shall have visitation with all minor children of the parties as follows. Regular visitation. The non-custodial parent shall have visitation every other weekend. Y'all, this is that baby daddy, baby mama stuff. From Friday after school or daycare until Sunday evening at 6 p.m. when the non-custodial parent returns child to custodial parent's residence. All weekends that include a federal or state Monday holiday should be part of the regular weekend. So they broke down the schedule: spring break, fall break, Thanksgiving, first week of Christmas, balance of Christmas break, custodial parent. So even years, the custodial parent gets them. On the odd years, oh, okay, so I see what they did. They switch it back and forth so that it's fair to both parents. And it says all Mother's Day weekend shall be spent with the mother, and all Father's Day weekend shall be spent with the father. Y'all, I gotta give a shout out to this judge. It looks like judge of the district court, Gary, whoever your name is. I say shout out to you for trying to be a fair, balanced judge in this matter. The holiday schedule supersedes all regularly scheduled visitation. The holiday schedule shall be governed by the school the child attends or would attend if not of school age. So they tried to cover all bases here. And it says all toys, because y'all, sometimes this stuff can get real petty. And they be like, oh, you're not taking those clothes over there that I bought you. Oh, you're not taking those toys out of here over there. I'll send you out by yourself. You're not going to have any toys over there. Like, I bought that. If they want you to have toys and clothes, they can buy it. Like, it be going to those extremes, those drastic measurements. It's not even about them, and it's not about the money. It's not about these material things. It's about the feelings of this child. But let me keep going because I digress, y'all. All toys and clothes belong to the children or child and should travel freely between households and shall be returned with the child in a clean and orderly manner. So don't try to like get mad and destroy the clothes that the other parent bought for the child, or the toys come up missing because you don't like the other parent breaking stuff. Like, come on. It is important to be aware that this visitation schedule is for the purpose of providing a short minimum amounts of visitation between the non-custodial parent and the children. Visitation should exceed the number of occasions set out herein. In addition, liberal telephone communications between the non-custodial parent and the child are encouraged and should occur. Okay, definitely, I agree. Why shouldn't you have communication with your child? All right. Oh, look, here's the child support computation. All right, I'm going to stop and I'm going to share my screen again. Trying to give them their privacy, you all. Okay. So we know that we're talking about Kevin Samuels, okay, but everybody else, we're trying to keep it at a minimal here. So this is the child support computation for the one child. The father is ordered to pay. Well, the father's alleged gross income at that time was $892 a month, and the mother was making $2,448. You got to think about it, because back in 2001, 2002, 3, 4, and 5, people made less money back then. We have gone through inflation over the years. I can say it because of how housing prices have gone up. Where I'm located right now, if you try to get into new construction, a decent home, it's going to be at $400,000 and up, 500,000. So it's nothing to have like a $500,000 home for new construction, especially if it's two people, a two-party income. This is just what it is right now. Interest rates have gone up. We're in an inflation, and then also like building material have gone up. This is all orchestrated by the government. So you could have bought a house, back in 2006 for $136,000. Right now, if you go to sell that same house, you're probably going to sell it for $336,000. That's just the nature of the economy, you all. Okay, so we got to take that into account. So people probably made less back then and make more now because of the inflation. Let's see, adjusted gross income. Okay, so all of this is split up, and it tells basically what they should pay. Right here on this base support of each parent, it says $142 for the father and $389 for the mother. So they say the mother should pay about $390 a month to care for the child, and they're saying the father should pay about $142 to pay for the child based on their income. Okay. So for child insurance premium, he was paying nothing, and she was paying probably through her job. Health insurance shares, he's to pay $42, she's to pay $115. Child care expense, he was paying nothing, she's paying $432. Child care expense is not cheap, y'all. even for like a newborn, it's nothing to pay like $1,000 a week. So it is a blessing if you have, someone that you can really trust in your family, or, somebody that can watch your child if you have to go to work. This is why you want to be careful of who you have children with. If you find a man and he allowed you the luxury of staying at home with your child, I would encourage the mothers, the women, the ladies, the queens out there, secure a man that's going to allow you to have the comfort of staying at home with your child. Okay. Because why are you rushing to go back to work? Why? So you can help him pay bills? No, you're supposed to be in your maternal instincts. That's why he wanted you to be a mother, right? He made you a mother. So he should deal with the responsibility of what comes with that. You shouldn't be out here trying to rush yourself back to work. Now you're putting your child with a stranger and paying the stranger $1,000 to watch your most valuable asset, your infant, your child, your genetic DNA. I just think that's backwards how we live right now in society, because everything is about financial gain, about, it's about the aesthetics of everything, about, trying to have these lavish things, these materialistic things that don't really mean anything when you leave out of this life. It really does not. What that child is going to remember is the love that was given to them, not the material things that the parent thinks the child wants. A child rather has time, love, comfort, knowing that you are reassuring them that you care, giving them confidence, positive affirmations. Those are the things that's going to take that child very far in life. I promise you. Child care shares, okay? And then they do a breakdown of that. Base support, okay? Health insurance, so okay, they go ahead and break it down. $299.57. That's how they came up with that calculation. So basically, he was ordered to pay $300 a month. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Signed on March 4th, 2005, you all, by the judge of the district court. And that's that. So that was page 10 of 10. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay. So that's what took place with that, you all. And I'm going to click off of it. Woo! What happened after that? We're about to show you what happened after that. All right. So I'm just going to scroll through here a little bit before I share my screen. Okay. I think we read the divorce decree already. Yeah, I believe so. Yep, I read that. So I'm click off of that. All right, continuing on. Continuing on. Some of these I might have pulled up twice. Okay, click off of that. All right, what else do we have? All right. This right here, let me make sure it doesn't show the name. Okay. Okay, so August 18th, 2004, petitioner application for contempt citation. I'll share my screen so you can see this. Interesting, y'all. It's been, Kevin Samuels has been through a lot, with the court system here. So right here it says petitioner appears by and through an attorney, Joel A. Porter. Anybody that needs a divorce attorney, you might want to reach out to Joel on the above mentioned matter. And the respondent failed to appear after receiving good service / notice of said court date, time, and place. The court, after reviewing the petitioner's verification of service, issues a bench warrant for the respondent. That was August 18th, 2004. Okay. Let's see what else went on here. So yeah, we saw that. Okay. Now this was filed March the 7th. Motion to vacate petitioner to deny or modify the child support, you all. It says the parties having appeared, the petitioner being represented by attorney Orenthal Darroon and the respondent being represented by Stephen Dito. Okay. Now, since it does not list any names here of the person. I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right, here we go. All right, so you can see it right here. Blow it up a little bit more. All right, moving along. Having heard arguments, orders as follows: the respondent will be granted standard visitation without supervision, and it says that the tax dependency exemption will be what does that say? Alternated between the parties, wherein respondent's first tax year to claim the minor child will be 2008 and every other subsequent even numbered year. Okay. So you know how like the parents be arguing over who's going to file the child on the tax return. Okay. So this judge said, y'all are going to alternate. Okay. We're going to be fair about this situation. That's what they said. All right. So let's keep going. All right. Respondent motion to vacate petitioners required to deny modified child support. They crossed something out there. Okay. Respondent accepts service for contempt and shall be arraigned at our next hearing. They crossed it out. Citation was dismissed, you all. Petition to vacate was withdrawn. Testimony regarding the frequency of meetings and exchanges with the minor child and the location of the exchange shall be addressed on March 23rd, 2007 at 2 p.m., wherein all parties are ordered to reappear. Okay. Y'all, this stuff can be stressful. Vacate motions to modify. Parties appear and announce agreement in part. Gross monthly income $3,583. Gross monthly income $3,942. So it sounds like there was an increase in pay and money. Daycare, it says $130 a month. Medical dental premiums $105 a month. Child support arrears. Child support arrears. So that means you're behind in child support by $2,713. Maybe not so bad. But if he was just paying $300 a month, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, that's 9 months of child support if he's paying $300 a month, y'all. Okay, so that's that. What else took place? Let's see. Was there anything else, y'all, before I close out of this? Okay. Yeah, so they have been going back and forth to court. Stephen Dito. Anybody need an attorney? Stephen Dito. Entry of appearance. Let's see. What's this? Let's see what this is about, y'all. We're almost done. We're almost at the end of it. Because I want to say that this is very interesting how it all ended. This is what we're getting to. Okay, so entry of appearance. This was filed December 22nd, 2006. It has her name on it, so I'm not going to show it on the screen because it's a very small document. But it says petitioner, which is the ex-wife, files her appearance in this action through counsel. Arenthel Denson of Denson and Haworth Law Firm, LLP. Ms. Samuels requests that all future correspondence sent to her regarding this matter be forwarded to Denson and Hawthorne. So then she's saying, don't send this stuff to me. Send it to my attorney. Okay, Haworth Law Firm at the address noted below. Arenthel Denson will be representing the petitioner in this matter. So basically, his attorney was sending documents to her, and she was like, no, you speak to my attorney. You send it to them. She's a very bright woman, of course. Smart, seems like she has a lot of sense. Let me see here. What else do we have? This right here was filed. Okay. Order vacating order, authorizing issuance of bench warrant and order withdrawing bench warrant. This was filed again December 22nd, 2006. There comes on for consideration in the above referenced matter, and the court finds for good cause shown. They crossed out pursuant to agreement of the parties. that the respondent's application to withdraw the bench warrant should be sustained. Okay? You just heard it. The respondent's application to withdraw the bench warrant should be sustained. Okay? So they're not having it. Whatever he filed for this bench warrant, they're not going with it, y'all. It is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed by the court that the order for issuance of bench warrant dated August 20th, 2004 should be, and the same is hereby vacated, and the bench warrant issued on September 7th, 2004, naming the respondent should be, and the same is hereby withdrawn and rendered of no legal effect whatsoever. It is so ordered. Okay? I'm trying to figure out exactly what that meant. Let's see here. Let's see if I can share my screen without showing the name. Okay. Yeah, let me share the screen here so yeah, I can take a look at this as well. Okay, here we go. All right, got that pulled up. Yeah, we're getting to the bottom of things here of what took place with Kevin Samuels, okay, back in the day. Because y'all had a whole lot of questions about what went on with him. You definitely did. So we're definitely finding out. All right, let's see here. No, this isn't. This is talking about child support. That's not it. Okay, where did the document go? Where did the document go? 1 second, y'all. Is this it? Oh, I can close out of that. That's not it. Close out of that. Close out of this. So much information, y'all. Okay. So it looks like, all right, just forget it. I'll go on to the next thing because that really was not that important, I don't think. This was December 27th, so 2 days after Christmas. Okay. This was filed again by who? Who filed this? The petitioner was the ex-wife. Okay, 2 days after Christmas, December 27, 2006. Let's see, it says, comes now the petitioner and in support of response to respondent's motion to modify and motion for accounting would allege and state as follows. So basically he's petitioning the amount of the child support. That's what this looks like. So let me share my screen, you all, on this one. Hopefully it'll share correctly. Okay, I think, yeah, this is it. All right, now let's keep going. Make it bigger so y'all can see. All right, so petitioner denies one of respondent's motion. Petitioner agrees with 2 of the respondent's motion. Petitioner agrees with 3. Petitioner denies the number 4, agrees with the number 5, denies 6, agrees with 7, denies 8. Petitioner agrees with 9 of respondent's motion, contradicts the previous 8. Petitioner does not understand 10 of the respondent's motion, and petitioner denies 11, and the petitioner denies 12 of responder's motion. Okay, so they're trying to come to an agreement here. Petitioner would allege and state as her counterclaim as follows. Respondent was very much aware of the existence of the divorce decree and the terms therein. Both parties subsequently discussed the divorce decree and the terms therein. The respondent received notice of the application for the contempt at the address that was of record as respondent's residential address at the time the application for contempt was filed and mailed via certified mailing to the respondent's residential address. Respondent never informed the court nor the petitioner of another residential address, and that the petitioner did not know that the respondent was living in Texas. Y'all, how many times have we heard stuff like this? He done moved out the whole freaking state. And I thought we read that they were supposed to remain in the same state. That's what I thought I read, but maybe I had things misconstrued. Respondent should have been aware of both the application for contempt and that and the bench warrant herein, because notices of the same were sent to respondents' last known and provided residential addresses. The fact that the divorce decree herein did not reserve the order authorizing the issuance of a bench warrant does not in any manner invalidate or eradicate the same that had already been properly granted. After respondent willfully and continuously failed to appear in court despite the resetting of multiple court dates. And you all, if you take a look at the court documents, you can clearly see that he was not showing up to court. Okay, he was not showing up to court when he was supposed to. Okay, and she had to keep filing paperwork. This is what was taking place. That the court order should not have been withdrawn because the respondent had reasonable notice of the pre-scheduled court appearances wherein respondent did not appear and rightfully obtained a default judgment against him. So he didn't even show up. So they just filed a default judgment. He was like, I'm just not going. And that sounds like the mindset of Kevin Samuels. You know, he can be stubborn. I'm just not going. That sounds like him. Respondent was aware of education-related expenses, but was willfully failed to pay his share of the same. And we saw that when they had the separation, divorce decree, and all of the child support stuff, they were supposed to share the educational expenses. Respondent was very, very well aware of my client's co-pays related to uncovered insurance, but has never paid his share of the same, which is half of all uncovered fees. So he didn't even have to pay that much of it because he only was paying a portion. She was carrying the bigger load because she had the insurance in her name through her job. That the bench warrant should not have been withdrawn because the respondent willfully and intentionally failed to provide either the respondent or the court with his updated residential address. Y'all, so basically, he was supposed to notify the courts of if he was relocating and he failed to do it. And people know if they're doing something wrong, but they try to act like they didn't know. That the bench warrant should not have been withdrawn because respondent did not inform petitioner that he had moved to the state of Texas. Okay, so he moved out of Oklahoma to a whole different state. That the respondent was aware of the divorce proceedings and had previously appeared at the temporary order held January 22nd, 2004, and filed an answer herein, but purposely and willfully kept his new residence from the petitioner and her attorney, which rightfully led to a valid default divorce. This is a hot mess, y'all. She has probably had enough of him, which is why I'm trying not to really put her on display, y'all. So please respect their privacy, her and her daughter, because I saw her daughter and she looks just like Kevin Samuels. She's a very sweet girl, very peaceful, calm, very kind demeanor, and they deserve their privacy, y'all. That's all I can say, because I can only imagine what this has been like for them. Let's continue. That the respondent has still willfully and capriciously failed to abide by the terms of this court's order by failing to remit payment to petitioner $972 for temporary debt that was accrued herein. That the respondent has still willfully and capriciously failed to abide by the terms of this court's order by failing. I think they should have said failing. They said failing to remit payment to the petitioner of $403 for expenses associated with relocating. That the respondent has still willfully and capriciously failed to abide by the terms of this court's order by failing. They said falling to remit payment to the petitioner of $750 pertaining to the use of a cellular telephone. Back in the day, do y'all remember what cell phone payments were like? They were not $100. They were not over $100. They were like $40, maybe sometimes like 20 some dollars, $40, $50 at the most. Y'all remember those days when cell phone payments were cheap like that? Yes, because back then we didn't have like all these smart devices, these iPhones that are very much so advanced. I think iPhone was just coming out during that time. And probably before then, they probably didn't even have an iPhone because they got married. I think they started dealing with each other. We have record of in 2001 along that time frame. So I don't know. But I don't think cell phones cost that much back then as far as the service. Let's continue. That the respondent cannot provide receipts reflecting payment of said debts enumerated in 10, 11, 12, as was stated by counsel for respondent on December 22nd, 2006. So 5 days later, she went back to the court, y'all, at the hearing to withdraw the bench warrant. Oh my gosh. That the respondent has not traveled to Oklahoma City every weekend to visit the minor child, herein as stated by counsel for respondent on December 22nd, 2006, at the hearing to withdraw the bench warrant herein. So that was right around Christmas time, y'all. For those who celebrate, those what do they call them? Pagan holidays, those man-made holidays, those satanic holidays. Look into your history, you all. But back then, if you didn't know any better, you didn't know. But to a child, what would that mean that the father doesn't show up for Christmas? I don't know. That this court could modify respondent's child support obligation to reflect both parties' current incomes, changes in the cost of insurance costs and in fees associated with daycare. That respondent failed to pay or reimburse the petitioner's attorneys. This child was very young when this took place. Okay, the child was only like, let me see, this was 2006, 3, 4, 5, 6. The child probably, I think she was only like 4 years old when this took place. The respondent failed to reimburse the petitioner's attorney's fees that were assessed during the said divorce proceedings, and that respondent has failed to reimburse petitioner for the minor child's education-related expenses. Petitioner requests that this court set these matters for hearing on January 18th, 2007. Y'all, I would be so tired of this going back and forth in and out of court. Who likes court? Nobody likes court unless you're an attorney and you're getting paid to be in court. Okay? This stuff is ridiculous. That the court deny respondent's motion to vacate the default divorce decree entered herein, and that the court modify the respondent's current support obligation and order the defendant into drug treatment and submit the respondent to drug testing if the court finds the same necessary, and grant all further ancillary and proper relief as warranted by the evidence and circumstances presented. Why would they recommend drug treatment? Hold up. Was he on drugs? I don't want to speculate. I do not want to speculate. That's weird. Is that normal? Is that normal that they would? Okay. Provide necessary support to the primary activities or operation of an organization, institution, industry, or system. Okay. Wow. Maybe that's something that's normal. I don't know. And proper relief as warranted by the evidence and circumstances presented. Okay, respectfully submitted, Orenthal Denson. Okay, certificate of service. All right, and this was certified on the 27th day of September. And then you have Stephen Dito Esquire. Interesting, y'all. All right, and now I'm going to stop right there because it might get to the signatures or something, and I don't want to show that on the screen. All right, so let's see. Yeah, okay. And it says that I am the above named individual, deposes and states, and have read the foregoing answer to respondent's motion to modify, and the facts therein stated are true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. She signed her signature. She was the petitioner. It was sworn before the court, 27th day of December 2006 by notary public. My apologies. My commission expires April 8th, 2008. Okay, so that was filed. That was done. Yeah, this is some interesting stuff. All this time I thought y'all could see the freaking screen and you could not see the screen. My apologies. Oh my gosh. I gotta do better, y'all. My apologies for that. Um, Let me see if there's anything else on here. Y'all, it's late, so I'm messing up so bad. My apologies. I thought I was sharing the screen with y'all. All right, let me dig and see if there's anything else, and I promise you I'll share. I'll share the screen. I thought y'all could see it, but I guess not. Okay, this is a motion to vacate. Um, oh yeah, we already read that. Well, hopefully you understood everything that I read because I sure don't want to put this back up there, but I will just so you can skim through it. At your own discretion, y'all. I'll put it back up there. 2007 Order of Modification. What is this? What is this? Petition to vacate. Oh, okay. I think I already read this. Okay. This is pretty much an order of modification, you all. And I will make sure I share it this time. So my apologies for not sharing. I thought I had shared it. Goodness. Okay, here we go. There we go. This should be it right here. Hopefully you can see that. Here we go again. 23rd day of March 2007. All of this is right here for y'all. So hopefully you can see it. And what I'm going to do is I am going to turn some music on and let y'all read that. All right. All right. We are back, you all. We are back. Okay. Now, as you can see, they have to drop the child off and exchange the minor child at Denny's on exit 31A on Interstate 35 near Ardmore, Oklahoma. You see it is right here. Looks like he had an increase in pay, or they found out that he was making some more money some type of way because basically his gross income went up to over 2,000. I think it was like $3,000 almost, or near 2,000. Okay. He was still behind by $2,700 with interest until fully paid. And it says that he's supposed to be receiving the child on alternating weekends, you all, April 6, 2007, Friday at 8 p.m. until the following Sunday at 4 p.m., y'all. They had to exchange the child at Denny's. On every other weekend, the visitation respondent shall determine the method of transportation of the child. The petitioner shall be responsible for and pay her child support guidelines pro rata share of 1/2 of transportation expenses of the amount thereof. Now you saw that somebody scratched this out. It said that if petitioner receives an overpayment, she shall immediately return said overpayment to the respondent. Somebody scratched it out and they initialed it. And then right here, it says, petitioner shall be responsible, okay, we read that, within 30 days of notification to her by the respondent of the amount thereof that was scratched out. Presently, petitioner's reimbursement for transportation expenses under the paragraph is of total expenses. The respondent is also awarded summer and holiday visitation in accordance with the standard visitation schedule attached here too. Y'all, I'm about to put some sunshades on. The respondent shall determine the method and means of exchange of the minor child, and petitioner shall be responsible for and pay 47.6% of the total expense thereof. And they scratch that part out of the amount. Transportation. Uh, the transcript of the court's ruling is incorporated herein by reference. The remainder of the provisions of the decree of divorce and dissolution of marriage remain in full force and effect, except as specifically modified herein. It is so ordered that page 3. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second. In case they have other stuff. Oh yeah, okay, you all. Child support computation. Y'all, this was modified again. Modifications. Okay. Modifications, y'all. That's what's taking place here. So let's look at this. So now you can see, okay, right here, the child support computation. So monthly gross income for the father was $39.42. Okay. And then the gross monthly income for the mother was $35.83. So now they're paying about half and half. So he's paying $454 a month, $455. She's paying $413. So you see, these things have changed a little bit. And then they do a breakdown. It looks like she's still covering the health care insurance, child care shares. All of this is broken down. And basically it says obligor's net monthly payment. So his child support went from about $299, $300 to $577.97. So give or take, what is that? $278. The child support went up, okay, by that much. Okay. Now they talk about the same stuff again, health insurance premiums and all that good stuff. Okay. And then everybody looks like they signed it. Let me stop sharing the screen. Oh boy, y'all. It'd be a lot going on. Again, they have the order of visitation, even in odd years, spring break, holidays. It breaks all that stuff down, weekends and all that, Father's Day, how that's supposed to go. Summer visitation, and then it says here, y'all can read it for yourselves, y'all. This is a lot to be dealing with. This is a lot to be dealing with. Somebody dictating when you can see and get your child, y'all. It's just, Summer visitation. This is how it's supposed to go. The non-custodial parent shall have summer vacation for 2 weeks in June and must notify the custodial parent of the dates in writing by March the 30th. Then the non-custodial parent shall have summer visitation for 2 weeks in July and must notify the custodial parent of the dates in writing by March the 30th. The July 4th holiday from 6 p.m. on July 3rd to 6 p.m. on July 5th shall alternate between the parties on a yearly basis. The non-custodial parent shall not select dates in July, which include the 4th, in consecutive years. 2 weeks shall mean one period of 14 consecutive days or 2 periods of 7 consecutive days, with visitation beginning and ending at 6 p.m. The non-custodial parent shall have summer visitation from 6 p.m. on August 1st until 6 p.m. on August the 8th. If the child's school year does not begin until September, an additional week of visitation in August shall be available with dates to be agreed upon by parents by June the 1st. Y'all, it's just a lot. It's a lot with the scheduling stuff. And they talk about all the toys, all the clothes. Parents are allowed to deviate from the schedule by mutual agreement. It's important to be aware of the visitation schedule, phone communication, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, be careful, okay, of who you have children with. Because this ain't a game. I don't think anybody wants to be in and out of court for this stuff. I really don't. I really don't. They went back to court again, y'all, in June of 2007. Okay, this was an order of vacating order authorizing issuance. What? What? What is this for? Um, it's very tumultuous with all these back and forth reports. Objection to subpoena duces tecum. Comes now the respondent and for his objection. Y'all, it's not funny. Okay, let's look this up because I know that not everybody's familiar with the terminology, nor am I, and I'm not going to pretend to be. Um, what does that mean? Objection for. Let me share the screen. Okay. It says objection to subpoena duces tecum. What does that mean? We're going to Google this. Objection to subpoena. Here we go. The objection must be in writing and it must be served on the party or the attorney. Within 10 calendar days. What in the world? I don't even know what that means, y'all. I don't. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But let's get to it. Let's see here. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's go. Okay, here we go. All right. So, okay, comes in the respondent and for his objection to the subpoena duces tecum attached here too would allege and states as follows. The attached subpoena duces tecum was received by his attorney on June 25th, 2007. The attorney has been unable to contact the respondent and is not certain whether respondent desires representation in as much as there is no action or motion pending herein. Ooh. Child support was last modified March 23rd, 2007. Respondent would further object to the request in paragraph 1 inasmuch as no time limit is set forth therein and it is therefore overly broad and burdensome. Respondent would further object to the request in paragraph 2 inasmuch as no time limit is set forth and okay, I think I read that. Oh, okay. And he said the same thing again, therefore overly broad and burdensome. This attorney has forward said subpoena and the objection to respondent's last known address, where 4 premises consider respondent request relief in accordance with the foregoing. All right, so it looks like there's some signing of signatures going on here. Certificate of mailing. Let's continue on. As her versus him. She's the petitioner, he's the respondent. And it says, ooh, okay. To Kevin Samuels. Let's see what they told him. Let's see what they told him. The court is ordering him to do something. Yes, they are, y'all. There's something else in these courts. It says, you are hereby commanded to produce the following items for inspection and copying to the attorney of petitioner. Okay, you are to provide the stated items within your custody or control within 7 days after receipt of the subpoena, okay, to the attorney. Copies of all pay vouchers, pay stubs, payroll checks, personal checks for payment of service. They put on here no time limit and receipts for payments of services for respondents' employment as a limousine driver, as testified to in the March 7th, 2007 transcript of proceedings before the Honorable Judge Geary Walk. So you all, Kevin Samuels came into the courtroom and said that he was a limousine driver, okay, on March the 7th, 2007. Copies of all pay vouchers, pay stubs, payroll checks, personal checks for payments of services and receipts for payment of blah, blah, blah. Respondent's employment as a fitness trainer instructor, a fitness instructor, as testified in March 7, 2007 transcript of proceedings before the Honorable Judge. There's no time limit. So not only was he a limousine driver, Kevin Samuels stated that he was also a fitness instructor, you all. And keep in mind, he was 6'4". I didn't know he was that tall. He's a tall, slender man. 6'4", weighing 188 pounds. Rather slender, rather sleek and tall. Copy of Respondent's 2006 Personal and Business, if applicable, income tax returns, both state and federal. They are not plain. Copies of pay stubs for employment at Home Depot for the year of 2007, y'all. He worked at Home Depot. You are further notified that the undersigned attorney, as an officer of the court, issues and signs said subpoena on behalf of the district court in and for Oklahoma County, Oklahoma, pursuant. In order to allow objections to the production of documents and deems to be filed, you should not produce them until the date specified in the subpoena, and if an objection is filed, until the court rules on the objection. Okay. All right, y'all. All right. So let's see. This was June 22nd, 2007, y'all. And this was delivered to both parties. That's what it says. That's what it says. This is what's going on, or what has gone on. You know, and there was a point when Kevin was sick. You know, he had cancer at some point. He did state that. So I'm not sure if it was during this time when he was going through all this stuff, because this stuff is a lot to deal with. Woo! Yeah. They went back to court. Well, this was filed July 19th, 2007. They were back in court again. This says petitioner filed a motion to reconsider on May 18th, 2007. It says a motion to consider does not exist in the Oklahoma statutory scheme and may be judicially considered as a motion for new trial or a term. It just keeps going on and on. So let's see. I'm going to share my screen so you can see this for yourselves. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here we go. This is what it says, y'all. Kevin Samuels himself. Oh boy. Petitioner has not set forth the specific grounds to vacate a judgment as required. Petitioner sets forth that respondent submitted a less than credible document, which purported to be a pay stub for his full-time employment. As to the part-time job, this respondent was unable to produce any form of proof of his earnings. Petitioner seems to be saying that the decision of the court was not sustained by sufficient evidence of precise grounds for new trial under the paragraph, blah, blah, blah. There are no grounds which fit such a demand or request. Petitioner also claims that the court awarding the respondent even numbered years on the income tax dependency exemption for a child was unfair, ostensibly because there is a child support arrearage. So basically, because he's behind on child support, she doesn't feel that he has the right to claim the child on taxes because he's behind. So she doesn't think that's fair. The judge ruled for that. This also would seem to fit under the same paragraph as the gross monthly income complaint. There's no grounds which describe the alleged problem. The content and substance of a motion to reconsider will determine whether it is a motion for new trial or a motion to vacate, inasmuch as every motion for new trial includes a request to modify the court's decision. The court will recall that this matter was litigated ad nauseum, okay, fancy term, at several hearings over a period of months. With petitioner's first attorney, trial was held, evidence was presented, witnesses testified, and the court made a ruling, you all. Petitioner refused to sign the proposed order of modification, and an appearance at the motion to settle was necessary, not with petitioner's first attorney, but with his new, okay, second attorney, who did not appear at any of the evidentiary hearings. So when all the evidence was being heard, the attorney did not appear, or somebody didn't appear. Petitioner had every opportunity to conduct efficient discovery prior to any of the hearings, but did not do it. The court took into account 100% of the testimony offered regarding the respondent's income, to the wit, $45,000 per year at Office Depot and $2,300 per year at Fitness Center. There was no other evidence presented, nor was any objection entered to the court's finding of respondent's annual gross income of $47,300 or $3,942 a month. Okay, none of that. Accordingly, petitioner's motion to reconsider should be treated as a motion for new trial and was therefore not timely filed and should be dismissed. In the alternative, the motion to reconsider should be denied on its merits pursuant to the foregoing. Wherefore, premises considered respondent's request relief in accordance with the foregoing. Okay? And that was that, y'all. So, y'all, they were going back and forth. They were going at it. Okay? Now, they went back to court in August. Okay? Well, somebody filed something in August. I'll say that. So let's see what happened in August of 2007, y'all. This is some tumultuous stuff, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this says on this third day of August 2007, there comes on for hearing upon petitioner's motion to reconsider. Petitioner appears in person and through her attorney, Cynthia D. Antonio, and respondent appears through his attorney, Stephen M. Dito. So he kept the same attorney pretty much throughout this whole situation. You know, Dito, okay, was on his side, y'all. Dito stuck with him. Dito stuck through it. And the court, after having read the motion, the response thereto, and after having heard the statements of counsel, makes findings of fact and conclusion of law. Pursuant thereto, the court finds that said motion should be denied for the following reasons. The motion to reconsider is not timely filed, and that after having considered the merits of the motion, the court finds that said motion should also be denied for said reason. It is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed by the court that petitioner's motion to reconsider should be, and the same is hereby denied. So she was denied, you all. It is further ordered, adjudged, and decreed by the court that the issue of attorney's fees and costs should be, and the same is hereby reserved for further hearing upon the filing of proper motion. Okay? Sucky now. So that was August. Okay, that was in August. What happened after August? Y'all, this is where it gets very, very, very interesting. I'm going to share my screen so you can see this. Okay, let me see. Share my screen. This gets very interesting. After that, she did not. I don't think she went back to court, y'all. I don't think she did. I don't think she went back to court. But look. What I just read to you was August of 2007. Okay, all of that happened in August. So then we see in October, notice of docketing. This was October 2008. So after she got denied, I guess she was just like, F it. Okay, I'm done with this. She's getting irritated, keep going back and forth, trying to get him to do stuff, trying to have things done her way, like whatever. So you see here, June 17, 2010, it says administratively reassigned. Nothing really was going on. It just looks like some administrative stuff happened. Now I want you to see, fast forward all the way to last year. Okay, this was exactly almost 1 year ago to the date. Okay, this is May 17th. This happened May 19th of last year. This is May 17th, 2022. This happened May 19th, 2021. Release and satisfaction of judgment of child support. That's where it gets interesting, y'all. I'm going to pull this up so you can see it for yourselves. So he was behind in child support. The rumors were out there floating around. I don't know how much in arrears or blah, blah, blah. Okay. how much he owed. But I want you to see this. I'm going to try to make sure her, well, her name's going to show up, but I'll read it to you. Okay. I'll read it to you. It says, release and satisfaction of child support is stamped and filed in the District Court of Oklahoma County, May 19th, 2021, by Rick Warren, which is the court clerk. Okay. And it said, Kevin R. Samuels has paid in full the unpaid amount of child support in reference to court number blah, blah, blah. We jointly agreed to release the child support judgment. Now, I want y'all to think about when Kevin Samuels really started blowing up on YouTube. I want you to think about that because that plays a big part in this. When he allegedly succumbed or came to his demise, they said he had an estimated net worth of $4 million as of recent. Okay. So how is it that after all this time, he's caught up just miraculously and mysteriously? He just didn't hear anything else in court about this stuff as far as what we know. I don't know if maybe they went to court in another state because I think this lady has actually lived in Texas as well. We know that Kevin Samuels had lived in Texas. So I don't know if they went to court in Texas, but they definitely were going back and forth in Oklahoma because that's where she was residing. So it's very interesting, y'all. This is a very interesting scenario that has taken place, to say the least. The court and the judges and the attorneys probably very much so appreciates, the fact that they have plaintiffs and defendants, and they can make an honest, decent living off of that. Okay, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna try to see something here. So I had it pulled up. You all, this has definitely been an episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. My apologies, but yeah, definitely his daughter. The paternity was questioned. I don't know why it was questioned, but it definitely was questioned, and it was ruled that apparently he's the father, which is why he was ordered to pay that child support, y'all. Okay. Oh boy. I'm just getting a message. All right. So let's see. There's some other stuff I wanted to kind of go over with you all. I'm trying to look it up now, y'all. But yeah, hopefully this has been an insightful into, the things that was taking place with Kevin Samuels' background. So we can see why he had the point of view that he had. You know what I mean? So yeah, she definitely was living in Oklahoma. Let's see, did she live anywhere else? I thought she was living in Texas for a minute. Yep. So she's around 52 years of age. She's a Pisces as well, you all. I can tell you that. She was a Pisces as well. So very interesting. Two Pisces, they don't mix apparently. Two water signs. Those Pisces men are something else. Yeah, it looks like she was living in an apartment in Texas, y'all. So I don't think she lives in Texas anymore. It looks like she may have, left Texas, but yeah, she spent some time in Texas. So I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe or either she went back and stayed in Texas, one or the other. But she ended up in Texas at some point. Yeah, she definitely ended up in Texas, y'all. So that is very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting that she was in Texas too. Yes, she was. Sure was living in Texas in an apartment. Yep. But I'm not going to share my screen because I don't want to put that out there. Give people the right to their privacy. Um, this stuff is something else. And so I just don't know if, I mean, what do you think? Do you think Kevin did all of this to get out of child support? I mean, I would hope not. I would hope not. I don't think so. But everything was just silent until last year, and then they said that he paid her. So unless they went to court somewhere else, it could have gone in Texas. I didn't look up Texas, so I don't know. But this is very interesting, y'all. I'm trying to see if they even lived in the same location, at the same residence. And I don't think they did. I don't think they did, y'all. But you can actually find like his old address and his, where he used to live when he was in Oklahoma. All that comes up. It's very interesting, y'all. That's all I can tell you. This is your boy Kevin Samuels. Shouts out to him, for being a high value man. Interesting. And it's interesting that the daughter is saying that that's not her father. So I am going to show this real quickly because I believe that this was one of the old residences where he used to reside when he was in Oklahoma back in the day. So I'll pull this up too. And this will give you some clarity and insight. Okay. This looks like a single family residence, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, very modest, decent home. Looks like a ranch style house. So hold on one second. Go back to the address. Let's see. My internet's acting up now. Yeah, he lived in a pretty decent house back in the day. Um, yeah, so that's the story of Kevin Samuels, and his ex-wife. Now I know that that's not the over, end all be all of everything. Like they probably had some decent times together because they were definitely married and they produced a child, but it looks like that court stuff, they were going at it. And she definitely was going to court, filing paperwork. She was on top of that paperwork. Um, yeah, that's the only thing that I can find for that address where he used to live. So you can check that out on Zillow. It says Edgemere Heights, which is a single family residence, 1,712 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath property. So, yeah, y'all, that is your high value man. That is your Kevin Samuels, the one that was given the relationship advice to all the high value men out here, the single men, the single women, telling y'all what your value's worth and this, and that. He went through his share of things with a woman. I can tell you that. And she went through her share of things with the man. And the daughter definitely probably went through a lot, dealing with all of that circumstantial information. So shouts out to that girl. And I'm telling you, they both look just alike. They look so much alike, him and that girl. Him and his daughter look a lot alike. Same complexion, same eyes. She's tall, rather thin. Very close resemblance. She wears glasses just like he does, y'all. It's something else. And the wife is a nice looking woman too. She's a light skinned woman. Um, she seems like a decent person, just from what I saw. But like I said, I'm not going to post their pictures up here. I'm just not going to do it. But what I will do is I'll post Kevin's picture up here, y'all. Shout out to Kevin Sims. Okay. um, he definitely had a personality on him, y'all. He definitely did. Do y'all remember that video that he did with Nicki Minaj? I thought that was a little interesting. Yeah. I wonder what that was about. That was in February when they did that Instagram live stream, and I was wondering why Nicki Minaj was kept pushing the issue on a certain subject matter. Why was she saying those things? I don't know if that was building up to something because he started, reaching out and being around celebrities. So he was definitely reaching like a certain level of fame, you all, or infamy, if you will. But was he mainstream yet? No, but he dealt with some mainstream industry people. He definitely did. Now, this has been an episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I'm going to be closing out. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this. I stayed on for almost 2 hours and 25 minutes, so exactly just now. So it's almost 2.5 hours I've been on here going over the documents of Kevin Samuels. Okay, um, so we're gonna close out. I'm gonna say shout out to you all. Thank you so much for rocking out with me. Okay. Shout out to all the melanated warriors, melanated kings, melanated queens. Shout out to the princes, princesses. Continue to walk in your divinity. You all stay blessed. And until next time, you all want to also give my testimony. My testimony is this: we are still here, we're still living, and we're still thriving, you all. And continue to say your money affirmations, um, and just spread light, peace, and positivity into the world, and it shall be reflected back into you. Okay? All right, y'all. Until next time, y'all take care. I'm signing out, y'all. I should have been going off of here. Let me stop this banner. Okay. All right, y'all.